7 months ago, I discovered my wife was having an affair. I never saw it coming, until I got sucker punched by her affair partner in a bar. We were out with her brother, his wife, and her best friend and her husband after a concert. I was the designated driver, so I stayed sober. When the ladies went to the restroom, 2 came back, but my wife didn't. I went to check on her, and I saw her standing close to a man, hand on her hip, her hand on his shoulder. When I confronted her, he punched me in the side of the head. I was slammed against a wall and blacked out. I woke up in an ambulance. The AP, affair partner, was taken to the ER and arrested. My brother-in-law tackled him during the fight, but was also briefly arrested. I stayed overnight in the hospital to rule out a concussion. While I was recovering, my brother-in-law revealed something I wasn't prepared for. The man who attacked me had been sleeping with my wife for months. I didn't have proof yet, but he encouraged me to join Reddit to read about infidelity and figure out how to handle it. That's when I joined and started preparing myself emotionally. Over the next few days, I accessed my wife's phone. There it was, everything: texts, pictures, videos, even messages from her best friend helping her cover it up. The betrayal hit me like a second punch, this time straight to the heart. After the initial shock, I started collecting evidence. I copied texts, pictures, and videos from her phone. It was worse than I imagined. She didn't even try to hide it. Her best friend was helping her, even encouraging the affair. I realized I had to plan my next steps carefully. My brother-in-law and I decided he wouldn't get any more updates. He'd done his part. I also reached out to my sister, who promised to help me secure a place to stay when I was ready to leave. That took almost 6 months, but now I finally had a home to rent. Living with the betrayal while acting like everything was normal was excruciating. We had sex during this time, but it was rare, impersonal, and purely mechanical. I had to ignore the "I love you" text she exchanged with him, the videos she made for him, and the fact that he bragged about hitting me, and she responded with a smiley face. The emotional pain was unbearable. I now had divorce papers in hand and a folder full of evidence. I knew who he was, where he lived, his wife's identity, and even their children's names. I was torn about whether to confront my wife or simply ghost her. Part of me wanted to see her reaction when I revealed everything. Another part knew that walking away silently could be safer and cleaner. Financially, we were separated in accounts, but she had her own well-funded retirement, and we had sold our family home 2 years ago. I was prepared, but the decision of how to leave remained agonizing. I keep going over everything in my head. She's been different lately. More present. Asking about my day, kissing me goodbye and hello. I didn't notice it at first, but it's been about a week. Something has shifted, and I can't decide if it's her guilt, a manipulation, or just coincidence. I still haven't touched her phone in over a month, but an opportunity has come up later this week that might let me have one last look with almost zero risk of being caught. I feel like I need that. I need that unfiltered view of what's really been going on before I make my final move. Once I ghost her, that's it, no more information, no more chance to see her true self. I keep swinging between wanting confrontation and ghosting. Part of me wants to see her face when I show her everything I know: texts, pictures, videos, all of it. The shock, the possible shame. I can't lie, I want that moment. But I also know the risks. She could twist it, play the situation, and I could end up in trouble. Walking away silently has its appeal too. Just leaving the house, leaving the evidence on the counter, and never looking back. No drama, no chance for her to manipulate me. I've been thinking a lot about the kids. I don't plan on going into gory details with them, but I need to be honest. They deserve the truth without the trauma. And I need to make sure they're prepared. If I ghost her, I can't have them worrying. Physically, emotionally, spiritually. I am exhausted. These past months, pretending like I cared about a marriage that was crumbling, trying to maintain affection, trying to love a person I've been with for 32 years, it's been brutal. I've cried, yelled, punched walls. I've gotten it out as much as I can. And yet, the pain still lingers. Seeing her back into the affair as if nothing happened, reading the messages she sent 3 days after she hit me, the betrayal is just unimaginable. I feel like I've finally reached the point where I can leave. Divorce papers are ready, evidence collected, a plan in place. But the question of how, I keep coming back to it. Confrontation or ghosting? My mind spins in circles. I know one day soon I'll have to decide. And I hope when I do, I can do it without losing myself in the process. For now, I wait. I watch. And I prepare. I woke up with a knot in my stomach, but also a strange sense of relief. After all the planning, all the waiting, all the sleepless nights, it comes down to this. I've decided, I'm ghosting her. I can't risk confrontation, not just because of her possible manipulation, but because I need to protect myself. I've seen how cruel this can get, and I'm done giving her any more control over me. I packed an envelope this morning. Inside, copies of all the texts, pictures, videos, and stills. I also included a note explaining that everything is being sent to her, her AP, his wife, and HR at their company. No threats, no accusations, just facts. I want the truth to exist without me being dragged into a mess. I left the envelope on the kitchen counter. She's still asleep. I made sure everything else is in order, my bags are packed, my rental home is ready, bills are transferred, accounts separated. I've even left a short note for the kids to explain that I'm taking a break, that I'll be in touch, and that they should not worry. I kept it calm, factual, and protective. I didn't want to leave them hurt or confused. Then I walked out. No last words, no drama, no final argument. Just me, walking away. And for the first time in months, maybe years, I felt free. The weight of all the lies, the betrayal, the sleepless nights, the fear of discovering more. It's finally lifted off my shoulders. I know she'll be shocked when she finds the envelope. I don't know what she'll do. And honestly, I don't care. My responsibility now is to myself, my well-being, and my kids. I'll answer their questions gently, honestly, and protectively. Everything else, her emotions, her reactions, her manipulations, are no longer my problem. For anyone reading this who's in a similar situation, protect yourself first. Collect your evidence, plan your exit, and don't let guilt or fear trap you in a toxic situation any longer. I waited too long, and it cost me months of stress and pain. Walking away isn't easy, but it is sometimes the only way to survive with your dignity intact. I don't know what the future holds, but right now, I'm safe, I'm free, and I can finally start to heal. It's been 2 weeks since I ghosted her. The first few days were surreal, like living in a dream I didn't want to wake from. The house was quiet, the weight of constant tension and betrayal finally gone. I moved into my rental, unpacked my things, and started to slowly build a space that felt like mine again. The kids reached out almost immediately. I explained the situation calmly, without going into graphic details, focusing on the facts they needed, that I'm safe, that I left because their mom was making harmful choices, and that I still love them. They were shocked, sad, and angry, but not at me. They understood that I had done what I had to do to protect myself and them. We've been talking every day since, slowly reconnecting without the constant cloud of deception hanging over us. I haven't heard directly from my ex-wife yet. The envelope I left caused chaos, apparently. She contacted HR and got in trouble at work, though I don't know all the details. Her AP's wife apparently received the copies too, and from what I gather, things are tense in their household. I don't feel guilty. This isn't about revenge, it's about truth and moving on. Emotionally, I'm fragile but stable. The first few nights were rough, full of tears, panic, and nightmares. But now I feel a sense of empowerment I haven't felt in years. I can make plans for my future without worrying about lies, manipulation, or betrayal. I've started therapy, which is helping me process the trauma and regain my sense of self-worth. The strangest part is how peaceful it feels. Walking away without confrontation removed the potential for one last battle, one last manipulation. It was quiet, dignified, and final. I didn't need to see her shock, I needed to reclaim my life. And I have. For anyone reading this, stuck in betrayal and pain, leaving is not weakness. It's survival. Protect yourself, plan carefully, and take the step that ensures your safety and sanity. The rest, anger, revenge, shock, guilt, doesn't belong to you anymore. I don't know what the future holds for me romantically or emotionally, but for the first time in decades, I feel like I can breathe freely and start over. And that, I think, is worth everything.